One, two, three, funky.
Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. If you are new, then welcome to my podcast. This is the third episode of Inferiority Checks. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope I don't disappoint you. I'm so proud of myself, to be honest, because I'm successfully entering the third episode of Inferiority Checks. It is a huge deal for me. I mean, I procrastinate literally everything, and for the past few days, I felt like I was living in some kind of, a trance, or maybe I was pushed to my deep ends. I don't know why, but I was not able to write anything. Certainly, I was not in the mood to record anything, but then I thought, why not create a content out of how I was feeling. So today's topic is going to be quite sensitive. I know I say this for every other topic, but the thing is, inferiority checks is all about the sensitive topics that we fail to talk about. So it is going to be about, do we know enough about mental health? Well, absolutely not. I know that for pretty well, because especially in India, we compare mental health to crap, and everyone has to initiate in some way to make people understand what mental health is and the importance of it. Apart from everything, I just wanted to make sure you guys listen to the second episode of Inferiority Checks, which is about body shaming and struggles. Honestly, a part of me was very happy that many of them listened to it and they were able to relate to it, but another part of me was very sad. I mean, to know that there are so many people who are actually body shamed, and there are so many people who are being insulted for their appearance. And don't you think it is not something that we have to be proud of, and it is something that we need to be ashamed of? I mean, I'm really glad and proud to say that I'm not judging anyone by their appearance anymore. I was doing it. I was part of that, the black sheep. But I'm really glad and proud that to say that I'm not doing it anymore, and I request everyone to also try not to judge anyone by their appearance. I know it is the most difficult job that you could have ever done, but we need to start doing that. But I got so many people saying that I tease someone and they just laugh at me, so they just take it as a joke. I mean, are you serious with me right now? I mean, uh, when you say someone or when you insult someone and name it as a joke or sarcasm, what do you expect them to do? Create chaos, or make a mess about how of a shitty person you are being at the moment? No, they would just smile it away. But obviously you should understand how deep it hurts them when when you insult someone by their appearance, and it is not something that has to be included in your sarcasm, because there are so many topics that can be included in your sarcastic shit, and body shaming is not one of them. So yeah, here goes your reason for for your questions. But apart from everything, my name is Parnika. I'm in my 12th grade right now. I don't know whether I could say that, because basically I'm a pass out and I'm searching for college. So maybe I don't know what phase I'm in right now, but I feel pretty shitty because searching colleges is not a piece of cake. It's annoying, but I'm trying to get the best college I could. But the happy thing that happened to me is I turned 18, so I'm a major now, basically. So, but turning 18 was like a dream for me for so many years, and I was so excited for it. But all of a sudden, I had this huge responsibility under my head, which was totally invisible. I don't know what they were, but I was very terrified to turn 18 for a few minutes. But then I was like, I'm an adult, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do. Yeah, so I got this lethargic attitude. I don't know where I got that from. I think all the adults have that. But today's topic is not a lethargic one. It is going to be a very sensitive one, as I said you all before. It is, do we know enough about mental health? No, I'm quite sure about that, especially in India. I don't think we give as much as importance to mental health as we give for physical health. At some point, it was okay. In the past, people oppressed each other in any superior way they can find, and even the inferior people were okay and had a mindset that this is where they belong. So everything from outside was like a painting. We didn't know how much defects it had inside beyond all over those paintings, over paintings that we make to make a beautiful painting. God, that made so much sense. But now and in future, I feel mental health is as important as a matter of fact that we wake up alive, healthy, with a pair of arms and legs. Every day we wake up at the thought of how the day would pass, or how, or at just some a random dream, or how we spent the previous night, or excited about something. We never know how a day would pass, but yet we wear those smiley confident faces, and we pretend that we are okay or we will be fine. But do we know enough about mental health to know what are the consequences by doing so? If we didn't take care of ourselves, we just have an assumption that everything would be okay as time passes, and that's not true. I mean, time will maybe help you to put the troubles you faced in the past, but it really doesn't make a way for healing or accept what happened. Certain incident would have scarred us in a way that we can never forget. Those events don't just heal its way out as time passes, obviously. As a matter of fact, taking them into account and realizing how much that meant to us, how much deep impact it made on us, will help us accept the reality. It's all about acceptance, and not everyone are having a bad day. When I say a bad day, it's just a bad day. Don't brag more about it. And not everyone are having a good ones either. But it's like a tradition, that we follow to put on smiles even when we are fucked up with life. Indian parents especially, god, I feel really funny to say this, but they have no clue what actually mental health is. They pretend like they do, but no, trust me, they have no clue. If any parents are hearing this, please, I request you to check whether your kid is mentally okay, or if he or she is just having a tan of smile and trying to find, trying to pretend, and you have to, try to find what's underneath them. I'm a rom-com spoiled brat. You could name me that. I mean, yeah, my name is that. I don't believe them, but I love to watch them. It makes me feel that, somewhere, someone in my fantasy world actually can have their life the way it is. I mean, it gives me the potent to believe that there is someone who knows what actually those inspirational quotes really mean and follows them. To be honest, I don't get a shit. I mean, what they mean, I don't know how they understand from this one line quote, and they do make a right decision. And I don't understand how they hear to those motivational speakers and do everything right in their life. And when will we actually start realizing that the more we talk about mental health, the more less of a chance there is to, dig the bad dirt on it? The fact that mental health has become a blame nowadays is really, really frustrating. And escape from reality, even though we are okay, it's a show off that we do. It's not supposed to be that way. We all like to think that we are the ones with real problems, and handling them makes us feel like some kind of a special person. It is true, even I feel in the same way. The thing is, how many days will we beat our mental health, procrastinate its maintenance, bring up as many as issues you have with your life, but do we realize that eventually they are going to have a major impact in your mental health? When do we realize that mental health is not a lost cause for the people who need it? When do we realize that mental health is important, and people who cry out for help are not attention seekers. When I say that, I get an interesting and the story that have made a major impact in my life. I was in a terrible state, a year ago when I was in my 11th grade. I was really in a terrible state. I don't know how you would define terrible, but according to me, it made a huge impact in my life. I was not able to speak about how I was suffering, or it was like so bad. But when I did try to, some pals, my best pals, named it as attention seeking. Thank you, though. It was a comment that I never wanted to hear, yet I did. And I'm glad to say that even though it affected me in every way, I continued to be a good companion to them. Not because I forgot what they said, but it's because I felt sorry for them. To be honest, sorry for them, because they actually don't know the impacts of being in a low volume of your life. I would like to request one thing. No matter how tiny it is, no matter if you feel it doesn't matter, no matter if they fucking name you as attention seeker, speak out. It is your right, your thoughts, your health. The thing is, parents and mental health are like two political parties that I never understand. I don't know what they fight for. They both literally disgust each other at the same time. One party wants a member of the other party without any dirt on them. That always might be the parents party. And I certainly don't understand what's up with parents when it comes about mental health. They do have to take care about their own, and they discuss when it comes to about others. And comparison is one son of a bitch. I mean, when our parents scold us and we let a single tear drop roll down your cheek, it's a funeral. Indian parents have a certain way of comparing who was the most beaten up and scolded. Is that a really competition of who has the most spoiled mental health? Don't they understand that such things are like the seeds that they sow in children, and when they have one of their own, they repeat the same to them as a method of teaching something necessary, as like showing kindness. This is an underrated issue that has to be discussed in another episode. Mental health certainly is something that comes along with a package of comparison, advices. What is it going to take for a human to buy a year? I mean, seriously, I'm totally serious. Can't we take a minute to hear out what others has to say? Do we have to boast how we crossed a similar situation? When I share something with you, I expect you to shut the fuck up and listen, and not encounter me with your advices. If I need that, I would better say that to my parents and get 2 to 3 smackings, and let them know that I'm losing my mind. But when I hear someone trying to boast about the similar situation that they faced, when I particularly scrub my heart of pain to them, I instantly feel like, can you please shut the fuck up? I ain't here to carry your burden too, buddy. I barely can stand with mine. We all need to develop the tendency to listen, even if you're fucked up, even if you feel boring, even if you're not interested. Shut up and listen. I once saw a Tamil movie, it's called Komali, and I heard a dialogue which made way more sense than any other dialogues in the Bollywood movies. It is, if someone is sharing their troubles with us, it's not because they want us to have a solution, it's because they want us to listen. It's as simple as that. And that just hit me so hard when I was seeing that movie. Mental health is not a show off, depression is not an excuse, broken is not a fancy shit, being sad is not aesthetic. We really need to get this shit inside our mind. Depression is not something that would be gone away in 2 minutes after hearing a goddamn song. No, I mean, this infuriates me. I feel it funny and angry at the same time when I see people sending memes that hearing songs cures depression. Why don't you be a doctor, buddy? I mean, It's a terrible state where you cannot face the world. The fear of taking your life stands right in front of you. And you know what is the most terrible thing? You have nil fear to take your life, but you will have a terrible state of fear to live your life. And it is not your Instagram bio or your WhatsApp status to brag about. This angers me beyond I could explain. If you are sad, you're experiencing one of the human emotions. That's it. I know the difference between depression and what sadness is. Speaking and initiating the importance of mental health will be important now more than ever. When in the first episode, I did say this pandemic created a lot of change within myself, and I came to know what mental health actually is, because a year ago I did not know what mental health was, and I certainly did not know what depression meant, you know. And now I do know, because let's speak about it. Even if it hurts, get help. You are not different if you do. Don't hesitate to say that you are not fine, and don't think saying you're not fine is attention seeking. Hear out, be human for one another. That's all that it is simple to live a life. And I hope today's episode made your time worth a while. This episode really mean a lot to me, because I I said something that I have never said anyone. And this is something, as I said, we really need to start speaking about. I'm saying this again and again because it is as important, and this pandemic did create a lot of people who actually started to learn more about mental health. It changed people, transformed people totally, and I am one of them. So I will be back with episodes for every other 12 days. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching today. Bye bye.